Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another day of our Summer Reading Club programming. And today we have a really fun craft planned where we're going to be making these adorable jellyfish that, as you can see here, can move in the plate as if they are swimming. So, what you need for today's craft is a paper plate. Any paper plate will do. Mine is a little bit sturdier, as you can see here. That way it doesn't fold as easily or anything like that when you're finished with the craft. I also grabbed some blue paint and I just painted my plate. For my example today, I won't paint it just because it takes a little bit longer to dry, but I would definitely recommend that you paint it whatever color you would like. And you will need some yarn. I would recommend grabbing a couple of different colors of yarn. I have all sorts: red, blue, burgundy, yellow, green. You will also need some cardstock or construction paper, and that will be what we use for the actual jellyfish right here. And you can use whatever color you would like for that. Today I'm just using pink. You will also need some scissors. I would recommend grabbing a pencil. You will need a popsicle stick or a giant craft stick, as they call it here. And that will be what we use at the bottom here, just to actually get the jellyfish to move. And it wouldn't be one of my crafts if it didn't use googly eyes. So if you guys would like to draw those on after for detailing, up to you, but I have these stick-on ones for today. So to get started, what you'll like to do is, if you want to paint your plate, I'd recommend starting with that. But as I won't be today, I can just grab my regular plate right here. And what you're gonna wanna do, be very careful with this one, is you want to make a cut just at the bottom here, as you see. So we'll say about 3/4 of the way down the plate at the bottom. You'll just wanna make a tiny cut all the way from this edge right here to right here. And that is what gets the jellyfish to move. Just like that. So be very careful with this. It works with scissors too. I am just going to be using an X-Acto knife, but please be very careful. Now, what I'd recommend doing before you start is by just tracing a line at the bottom here, and that way you'll know exactly where to cut. It makes it a little bit easier for the process, and that way your line will also be a little bit straighter too. Just like so. Now I'm going to grab my knife here and cut along that edge, and be very careful because these knives are sharp, so I don't want you guys cutting yourselves. And I just have to cut a little bit more right here. If you have to go over it more than just the once, that is perfectly okay and normal. And it should look just like this, as you see. The cut at the bottom there, from this side all the way to this side. All right, now once you've finished that, what you'll want to do is grab your construction paper, and that is how we will make the body of our actual jellyfish here, as you see. So you just want to cut out, we'll say, a bit of an oblong shape here, or a little bit of a semicircle. And the size is up to you. For me, mine isn't too big today, just because that way it can still nicely fit on my page. So just like that. And I'm going to cut it out. Just like that, as you see here. So, as that part of the jellyfish is ready, you can then start with grabbing your yarn. Now, I have a bunch of different colors just because the tentacles look really neat that way. But you can use 1 color, 20 colors, your choice. But I have 5 today. Now, what I am going to do is, I'm going to measure out 5 different strands from each of my balls of yarn here. And they should be about this size. So how can I compare this? There we go. If you have a full pencil, it's about half a pencil's length. So not too long, and that way the tentacles are still hanging down the plate, but they don't hang off of the plate. So what I always do for the measuring is I line up a previously cut one like so, and then I go to the edge, and then where it is measured, I cut it right there, and that way your strands will be the exact same size. So yeah, I will cut 5 of these. 3. And again, be careful, don't cut yourself. There we go. Just like that, I have 5 of my burgundy. Now I'm gonna go down here and grab some yellow. Also using my previously cut burgundy yarn to measure right about there. And then you just keep cutting as many as you would like. You don't need as many as 5 strands per color of yarn that you're doing, because it is completely up to you how many tentacles you would like your jellyfish to have, but I figured it's enough that it looks really cool in the end, but at the same time it's not too much, so it doesn't take too long to cut out all the yarn. There we go, and now I have 5 yellow. I will then grab my blue and do the exact same thing. There we go. Almost there. There we go. And the blue is finished. And then I will do red here as my last color. And that way it makes it nice and colorful. You can never argue with color. And it doesn't take too long to cut out either. There we go. That's 4. And I want 5. There we go. Now all of your pieces of yarn are cut up and ready to go. What you can do next is grab your craft stick, and then you'll want to grab some glue. Now white glue works okay, a glue stick also works just fine, but what I would recommend using today is either the white glue or hot glue if you have it, just because it dries so much faster and you can finish this craft really quickly. Just like so. And then you want to glue your jellyfish body in the middle of the craft stick here, and it'll look just like that. There we go. And the next step is to put on your tentacles. Now, it is up to you how you'd like to put on your tentacles. You can put them on the front, but that way the actual ends of your yarn will be showing. So what I did here with mine was I put them at the back. And if you notice, I tried my best to separate the actual colors, so that way they're not all together on one side. So it's not all yellow on this side and all red on this side. They're a little bit more organized and separated than that. So I will grab, say, green, red, blue, some yellow, and some burgundy. And with that, I will then line them up just like so, where all the ends are together, and trying to make sure these are straight. And then I will grab my glue, and I'll just be putting them on the back side here. Just like that, I have glue on the back. And then, nice and quickly, before it dries, I will be putting the yarn just like that. You see how the ends are sticking, and that'll work just as well with white glue. It just takes a little bit longer to dry, so your choice. And then I will just keep doing the same thing. I will grab all of my colors. And if you grab a couple of a single color, that is totally okay. There we go. And I will put these also on the one side. Press them down. If you are using hot glue, be very careful. Please don't burn yourselves, just because you'll have to press down the yarn so it sticks just like that. There we go. And then just to do the last part here, there we go. Now I have all of my pieces of yarn lined up. And then I'm just going to do the exact same thing that I've done before with the glue. Line up my pieces here. And then glue them on. Just like that. And you see, your jellyfish is just about ready. And on the back here. Now, this is when you can put as much or as little detail as you would like. I'm going to put googly eyes on mine because I absolutely love googly eyes. I think they're super, super fun and definitely add to the jellyfish. There we go. And now my little guy is ready. So, once we do that, we will then put it in the plate here. Now, there's a couple of options. You can go under, just like so. And then make sure to pull out the actual yarn from the bottom slit here, just like so. And that works just as well. Or you can put him through the top, holding the yarn, and then just put the popsicle stick in the bottom. Both work well. But that'll be everything for today's craft, you guys. Thank you very, very much for joining me. I hope you had tons of fun as always, and I can't wait to see you all soon. Have a good one, everyone.